is the only MCU hero to headline 4 solo films, with Chris Hemsworth's journey starting in Thor and continuing through Thor: Love and Thunder. While Thor 5 isn't on the Phase 5 or 6 slate, Hemsworth has hinted that his next MCU appearance could be his last. After over a decade and the mixed reactions to Love and Thunder, he might be ready to move on. That doesn't necessarily mean Thor 5 will be his final chapter. A future Avengers movie could wrap up his story. Either way, fans were promised that Thor will return, so here's what we know so far. As we know, Hemsworth has also mentioned that if he does return, he wants a shift in tone, which is something many fans would welcome. Taika Waititi's comedic reinvention of Thor in Ragnarok gave the character new life, but by the time Love and Thunder rolled around, the humor-heavy approach started to wear thin for some. A final Thor movie that blends the lighthearted charm of Waititi's films with the weightier themes of the earlier Thor movies could be the perfect way to close out his arc. That said, there's still no official word on Thor 5. It's not part of the current MCU Phase 5 or 6 lineup, and neither Kevin Feige nor Marvel Studios have confirmed its development. However, that doesn't mean it won't happen. Marvel has a few unannounced release dates in the future, and it's possible Thor 5 could be one of them. If not, Thor's story might continue into Phase 7, possibly wrapping up after Avengers: Secret Wars. While there are no confirmed story details, Thor: Love and Thunder left a few possible directions for a sequel. The film's ending sets up Thor's new dynamic with his adoptive daughter, Love, as they travel the galaxy protecting the innocent. This could be a major focus of Thor 5, showing Thor stepping into more of the fatherly role while still being the warrior he was born to be. Another storyline teased for the future is a potential showdown between Thor and Hercules. Love and Thunder's post-credit scene showed Zeus sending his son Hercules to remind the universe of the god's power after Thor nearly killed him. This sets up an epic battle that could serve as a major plot point in Thor 5. Beyond that, there's always the possibility of Thor reuniting with Loki. While the original Loki from the main MCU timeline is dead, the Loki from the TVA is now holding together the multiverse after the events of Loki Season 2. If Thor 5 explores more of the multiverse, a reunion between the brothers could finally happen, giving them one last moment together. And then there's Jane Foster. Though she died in Love and Thunder, the film's final scene showed her arriving in Valhalla, greeted by Heimdall. If Thor 5 includes a storyline where Thor dies, it could end with him reuniting with Jane and the other fallen Asgardians in Valhalla. Whether Thor 5 happens or not, one thing's certain, fans were promised that Thor will return. It's just a matter of when and how. That said, depending on when Thor 5 arrives, it may have to deal with the arrival of RDJ's Doom and the build-up to Avengers: Doomsday and Secret Wars. If Thor 5 is part of Phase 6, then it will inevitably feature plot points and story beats that tie into Doom's master plan and the impending multiversal incursion. However, if it arrives in Phase 7, all bets are off in terms of how it will fit into the wider MCU. Another possibility is that Thor 5 could be the final movie in Phase 6, serving as a follow-up to the spectacle of Secret Wars and setting the stage for whatever comes next in the MCU's evolving narrative. One Marvel Comics event that would be perfect to align with Chris Hemsworth's condition for returning as the God of Thunder and to set up a massive crossover event in the MCU is Chaos War. This storyline would allow Thor 5 to take a much darker route, opening the door for an intense, mythology-driven adventure. Chaos War primarily centers around Hercules, played by Brett Goldstein in Thor: Love and Thunder's mid-credit scene, as he and Thor assemble a team of powerful godlike figures to battle the Chaos King, aka Amatsu Mikaboshi. In Marvel Comics, the Chaos King is a demonic god of evil based on Japanese mythology, possessing an enormous amount of power. He's capable of killing Nightmare, a dream being of immense power, and enslaving an army of the dead. The Chaos King debuted in Thor: Blood Oath No. 6 in 2006 and became a significant cosmic threat in 2010's Chaos War event. Originally a member of Hercules' God Squad, he ultimately turned against them, wreaking havoc on the Marvel Universe by rendering mortal characters unconscious and attacking various afterlives and underworlds. Given his immense power and the existential threat he poses, the Chaos King would make a formidable villain for Thor 5. To take on this cosmic menace, Chaos War saw Hercules gather a team known as the God Squad, which included Thor, the Siren Venus, the Eternal Circe played by Gemma Chan in the MCU's Eternals, Silver Surfer, and Galactus, who will be introduced in Fantastic Four. This roster represents one of the most powerful teams in Marvel history, making their live-action debut a tantalizing possibility. Thor has always yearned to be part of a team, whether it was the Avengers, the Revengers, or the Guardians of the Galaxy, so Thor 5 adapting Chaos War would allow him to fulfill that desire in a major way. While the living members of the God Squad are pivotal to the storyline, Chaos War also involves the return of several deceased heroes due to the Chaos King's attack on various afterlives. This includes fallen Avengers, members of Canada's Alpha Flight, and even dead X-Men, all joining the fight against Mikaboshi. With ongoing speculation about the return of dead Avengers in the MCU, Thor 5 could be the perfect opportunity for characters like Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, and Natasha Romanoff to make a comeback. The stakes are already multiverse in scale, so their return, whether temporary or permanent, wouldn't feel forced. Given that the Chaos King threatens not just one universe but the entire multiverse, Thor 5 could also be the key to bringing back another major player. In the Chaos War storyline, young genius Amadeus Cho devises a plan to escape the Chaos King's destruction by relocating Earth into a sealed-off reality. However, it's ultimately Hercules who traps the Chaos King in this separate continuum, saving the multiverse. Since Amadeus Cho has yet to debut in the MCU, this role could instead go to Loki, now a multiversal god after the events of Loki Season 2. If Thor 5 follows this path, it could lead to a long-awaited reunion between Thor and Loki, one that carries immense emotional weight and reaffirms Loki's place as one of the MCU's most powerful heroes. A Thor 5 adaptation of Chaos War wouldn't just provide an epic reunion and a high-stakes battle, it could also mark the end of Chris Hemsworth's tenure as the God of Thunder. Rumors suggest that Thor 5 may be Hemsworth's final MCU project, and Chaos War offers a poignant way to conclude his journey. In the comics, Thor is nearly defeated by one of the Chaos King's warriors, but instead of dying, he is reverted to his amnesiac human form, Donald Blake. If the MCU follows a similar path, Thor 5 could serve as a farewell to Thor, while setting up Hercules as the new lead godly figure in the MCU. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to stay updated on all the latest movie news, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. By doing so, you'll stay in the loop with all our future updates. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.